What up, what up, what up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's your boy Candy coming at y'all with the words. I would get into the spill, but hey, I want to get my thing. I want to get out my point and my point across today. I know I ain't been on for a while. I've been going through some things, but here we go. So I've been going through hoops, jumping through obstacles, trying to be mature, trying to do this, trying to do that. But at the same time, the human self doesn't want to be all that. But you got to, because the system, they'll take it and try and use it against you. So the obstacles, hurdles, jumps, and everything. Went through custody stuff back in March. Got done in April. Okay, still terrible. But got my daughter in June 1st to July 31st because that's my parenting time. But I got out of the military June 16th, which means I was not about to have a job. But I did have a job lined up. But that didn't work out because there were some issues. Okay, called freeze, whatever. So I said, you know what? I have some money saved up. I'm going to give that time to my daughter, spend time with my daughter, do things with her. So through the month of June 1st to July 31st, I spent time with my child. Through that time, I did go on a couple of job interviews. All right. With that, took her home at the end of July. Had some other things I was trying to take care of and waiting. Now, it used to be easier when you can go into a job and, put in applications. But no, everything's online and lazy people to look at that application when you call. All right, no excuse. Still getting money. So up to then, you got to look at the fact that don't have a job right now. And when you're in the military, and that's another thing that people need to fight. Within the military system, it's a broken system. You get basic pay, BAH, and BAS. One of my friends fought that through Florida. They wanted to try and put all of that money together, depending on your rank. For me, it's like $66,000 a year. Didn't really make that. It's because when you take the BAH and the BAS, that's for you. The base pay, that's what they should go off of for child support. Some states take that and say, well, yep, you're right. The state of Kentucky, Tennessee, don't care. They lop it together and screw ya. All right. So when you make $66,000 a year and you go through a custody battle, some people do this thing called government bandit and make their employment lower so they can get more money. That happened to me. The crappy part about that, yes, there's a high child support. Okay, well, some people say, well, then you need to, well, no, 2 people made a child. Now, with that not working, guess what? You still have that high child support. By July 15th, why am I paying this much money when I'm not working? And my child's with me for 61 days. I'm literally paying for my child to be with me for 61 days. That's 2 months. You should not have to pay the other person for their house because the child's with you. That's another broken system. I think they need to put that in play if they have an actual paperwork stating, well, if the child's with their father longer than this many days, that needs to cut off. I know some of you will argue with that. All right, so check this out. Next, been jumping through hoops from Texas, Kentucky, and Louisiana. Oh, well, this state needs to take care of that. This state needs to take care of that. They just, pointing fingers. Finally, Kentucky said, hey, we will call. Next thing you know, finally got to talk to the people at the DCFS, Child Support Bureau of Louisiana. Lady literally told me this. Well, if you could talk to the ex and say, hey, try and make good faith it would be easier to do it that way than to come here, reapply, because there's some twist in between that. I'll get to that story one day in another message, because it's really sad that, you know, people will try and lie to go and get more money and lie about other issues to get more stuff too. Been through that in some other ways too. So going into this lady goes, you know, hey, try and make good faith, maybe, because if you do that way, it'll be easier and less this and less that, because then you both can just make an agreement and bring that down. Well, when somebody doesn't care and try and get more money, that's not gonna happen. So lady goes, well, then that means you have to go and apply online. Then you won't see a judge for about 3 to 4 months because we're behind. My mind goes, what is your office there? Why is the office there? Why can't I show you the proof? You say, okay, cool, put it in the system. And the lady goes, well, because you were not working, we're gonna have to make that as minimum wage. In my mind, I'm like, okay, do that. But no, you have to see a judge. Why can't I just give you the paperwork? You put it in the system, and then if the other person disagrees, then you can have a lawyer, because then you can see who always like to make high conflict problems and issues. Because no matter what, I start my job this month. I was supposed to start my job last month. It just got pushed back because one, the government shut down, and then they're trying to figure out stuff within their department stuff. So lots of craziness, lots of broken systems. Well, you know, it's all about money, because when you have an issue, you still have to go through all the loopholes, because you're going to need the signature of the judge. So why wouldn't you just put it in the system, and it's going to be sent up to the judge to sign anyway, which makes it even easier? No, this is the reason a lot of people have problems, because then next thing you know, oh, you're paying what you can, and then after that, you're going to have back child support. Then after that, somebody's trying to put you in jail, or trying to do this or trying to do that, which is really dumb to me, because putting somebody in jail because there's back child support, or because you don't know their circumstances, it's like wild and crazy. Next thing you know, you have a misdemeanor. You know, when you go to a job and you have to sign on that little thing, do you have a felony or a misdemeanor? Now you can't get a job. Now you're back in jail. That's stupid. So same thing if you say, well, there's deadbeats out there. Okay, well, at some point, if they're working, you're going to get your money. They're going to be garnished. They won't get the taxes. But because they have the felony or misdemeanor, yeah, I don't have any of that. But the main thing about this is, it is terrible how the system works. The big thing is, oh, that ex, or whoever, ex, baby mama, whatever you want to call it, does not want to comply, does not want to compromise, because, hey, well, I'm not going to get the money that I want. Go work. Like I said, in my experience, that was shown, it sucks. Those are my words of the day. You guys have a great day.